everyone, today's video is going to be a ranking video. So I've seen a ton of people here on YouTube doing these videos. I think Kelly Gooch might have been the first person, but I'm honestly not sure. But regardless, I just think it's a really good idea to go through your collection and rank every item. What's your favorite and what's your least favorite in that category? And while I was thinking about doing this, I was kind of overwhelmed because I feel like in so many of my categories, I either, one, have so many items that like it would be a little ridiculous to try to rank them all. I feel like the video would be like 7.5 hours long. Or two, and this is what bothers me, I have some categories, like some lip product categories especially, where I don't feel like I know enough about each product to really truly rank them. So that's not good either, right? I mean, that I have so much that I haven't even really tried them as well as I would like to. So, that being said, I was thinking about what I wanted to rank or if I could really do these kind of videos. And I thought that my cheek palette category would fit. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different cheek palettes. And for me, these are just like palettes, I guess, obviously. Containers, if you will, that have more than one cheek item in it. So even if it's all blushes, I still am counting it in my cheek palette collection. So let's just go ahead and rank them. So coming in at number 12 is this guy. This is the Urban Decay Naked Flushed Palette in the shade Native. As far as I'm aware, this is the first one they came out with. And I do like that it's a blush, bronzer, and highlight. I like that immediately. I don't like that it's one pan. I know that that's kind of like a trivial thing to not like, but it honestly bothers me. I don't like it when they do that. I would prefer each individual item to have its own pan. That just makes me happier, honestly. So there's that. Also, this bronzer, as you can probably tell, is super warm. Super duper warm. I'm not saying I can't wear it, that would be dramatic, but it's just a very warm bronzer, so I find it kind of hard to wear. I like this blush, I like this highlighter a lot. I think they're great products. But just overall, I'm not like super wowed by any of these products, so I just don't feel like I really not need it. I still have it. I wanted to say that, I forgot. Sorry. I do declutter items pretty frequently, and on my channel I have a weekly product pan series that makes me go through everything and really determine if I like it or not. And this hasn't been in that, so maybe that's partially why. So I do like it. I like this pink a lot, and I like this highlighter. I like a pinky toned highlighter. I know by today's standards it might be kind of subtle, but that's what I like. I don't like to look like I have like a glitter strip on my face. I think that's pretty. The pink is buildable. So all in all, I do like this palette. I think it's pretty, but it's just my least favorite of what I own. So number 11 is this guy, which was really shocking to me. I love Disney, if you don't know, if you're new here. I absolutely love Disney, and so when Disney and makeup come together, I immediately want it. Sorry, I feel like my lipstick is not looking great. I don't really know why. You know? Some days you're just having those not great lipstick days. Immediately want it. So I was like, I need this. And it has 4 shades. It's got one highlighter, which looks really dark in the pan. It's this like very gold toned highlight. And it is pretty powerful, but I find that blended out, I could make it work sometimes. So that doesn't bother me. But I feel like these two blushes look different in the pan, but they're really similar, and this blush barely shows up on my skin tone, and I have a pretty light skin tone, so if it's barely showing up on me, I feel like it's probably not showing up on other people. The quality of these blushes are really, really high, and you'll notice I actually have 3 Lorac cheek palettes, and the other 2 are ranked pretty highly, if I do say so. Hello, this is my hippo. Do y'all see this coat we got him? We got it for him at a fall festival where they had like a lot of local vendors, which I love to shop those. I prefer to buy things locally if possible. And it's just so warm, and Hippo is such a weird shape that it's really hard to find jackets or clothes that fit him, but it gets really cold here, and Hippo's really skinny, so he loves jackets. So he's just sitting here with his little jacket. What do you think of this palette, Hippo? He's just not that interested in it. He doesn't really like it that much either. So I like the quality of it, and I think that, what is this? Just a little bit of a mess today, aren't I? Is that some chicken? Some chicken. We're making buffalo chicken dip, and apparently I got some chicken in my hair. Lovely. I think that the quality is really nice, but the variety isn't great, especially for a palette. Packaging's stunning though. So that's my 11th favorite. Coming in at number 10 is my first ever cheek palette, and that is the Sephora Pantone Universe cheek palette. So they used to come out with Pantone Universe makeup with Sephora. I don't think they do that anymore. And this was the year that Radiant Orchid was the shade. This shade, I don't really know what you're supposed to do with it. Like, it's beautiful. It's a gorgeous color. But on the cheeks, it's a lot. Like, even really blended out and diffused, it's a lot. I've also tried it as an eyeshadow a couple of times, and typically, it's just not blending very well. You'd think it would show up really well based on that swatch, and on the cheeks, it seems to be, like, way overpowering. But on my eyes, I don't really like it that much. But these two shades are beautiful. This highlighter is really similar to the Laura Mercier Baked highlighter, which is my favorite, so I love that highlighter. And this blush is really pretty as well. It's just a nice kind of glowy pinky blush. It's right here. So there you go. You know, it could even be a highlighter depending on your skin tone. So those two products are absolutely beautiful, but this one, which is the largest pan, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. I've tried to use it quite a few ways, but because of that, it's not my favorite. This packaging again, though, I really like it. And I like 2 of the 3 products. Next, so coming in at number 9. Did I count right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. I was going to say, if I didn't count right, that's going to be kind of annoying. Is this City Color Be Matte Blush Trio. Now, this trio actually came from Ipsy. So you're probably like, well, that's just like a little freebie cheapy thing. And you're not wrong, but it's not bad. Just because it came in something like that doesn't mean it's bad. I really like the variation in this palette. So you have this beautiful nude blush, you have this more orangey tone, like warm blush, and then you have this really nice cool tone blush. They're all 3 matte, which is my preference. I like a matte blush. I don't know why I'm going to swatch these. And as you can tell, pigmentation is not a problem. So this beautiful nude goes with anything. This cool tone pink I come in for a lot. It's almost purpley, but it's not so bright like that Radiant Orchid shade in the previous palette. And then this warm tone peach just looks great with warm tone looks. So I feel like this is a great little trio. I feel like if we're being honest, this is kind of all you need. I mean, I know sometimes you want something a little different, but like a warm tone, a cool tone, a neutral, all blush, all matte. Put your highlighter on to get you some shimmer and you're good to go. So for that, I just think it's really nice and I don't really have any faults on it. And I mean, the packaging isn't great, but it's fine. And they look really small. How big are they? They're 2.35 grams a piece, but I mean, they're blushes. How often do you go through one? Probably once every 40, 50 years. I don't know. I've never done it because I'm not that old. So who knows? So yeah, I like that. Then coming in at number 8 is the Kat Von D Alchemist Palette. So when this came out, I feel like everyone and their mother had to have it. Because this was when these kind of like color shifting highlighters were really big. And not that they're not big anymore, but I just feel like they're not as popular. So you can tell they all look white. But then we've got a purple. That one's a blue, a green, and a pink. And so you put them on your skin. Oh, a wild John appeared. And you'd get these like, you know, kind of holographic-y shades, which is really cool. And they work fine. I do feel like on the cheek, I don't know, sometimes they just didn't, I feel like I'm gonna like impale this up my nose. Sometimes I just didn't really get the look I wanted. It either wasn't quite blue enough or it was like too blue. I don't know, I wanted like a happy medium. I do like these, and the reason why it's actually ranked at number 7 is because, or no, number 8 is what it's ranked at, is because I like these for my inner corner. If I have a really purple look, I like to grab this and put it in my inner corner. So that's really what I use this for. Even though it is a cheek palette, that's my preferred method of using them. But on the face, they're just okay. So for number 7 is this BH Cosmetics Lilac Blush Floral Blush Duo. For a while, these things were like the hit of the town. People were talking about them left and right. I have the shade Lilac, which I thought would be like a cool tone, like purpley pink, kind of like this shade from the City Color. It's not. It's a hot pink. These two shades actually really remind me of the 2 shades in the Urban Decay Flush palette. But they're really beautiful. This highlighter, it looks really chalky, and I can definitely tell that if you were not like a lighter skin tone, it would not look good on you. But on my skin tone, it's stunning. It's just like just enough pinky frost to make you look really like glowy without being like, hey girl, tone down the highlighter, you have glitter on your face. And this hot pink blush works really nicely, so I don't really have anything bad to say about it. It is getting a little old, so it's getting a little chalkier, but that's really my fault because it's the age of the product, not the product itself. But the product it's good. I like it, and it was, you know, cheap as chips. All right, so then we have the next 6 products. So we're halfway there. So number 6 is this. This is the Benefit Cheekathon palette. So we've got Dandelion, Hula, Rockateur, Coralista, and Dallas. So, and it did have a brush, but every time I opened it, the brush would ding one of the products, so I just took it out because I didn't want that. These are all full-size blushes, and it's a big chunk of Benefit's Cheek collection. They've come out, this was the first one they came out with, if I remember correctly, and they've come out with about 47 more variations of this. Because I owned this, I'm not really very tempted by other Benefit Cheek products because I'm like, I have a lot of them. I would like kind of one of the highlighters, but they might be too much for me, for my personal preference. Dandelion, beautiful cool tone blush. And I do have a neutral to cool undertone, so I like that. Dallas doesn't look like much in the pan, but on the cheek it's lovely. Rockateur, same thing. Though I do find that Rockateur and Dallas look a lot alike on the face, so I don't know that you really need both of them. Hula I like. I don't love it like a lot of people do, and Coralista is a nice warm tone. So there's a decent amount of variation. Like I said, Rockateur and Dallas can favor each other a lot, which isn't the best. But in general, it's just really nice. The performance and quality of the products are great. You know, they stay on my skin really nicely. They're not patchy. They blend well. So I like the performance of these, and I think that they're pretty good. And it's got bronzer and blush, which is nice. So that's number 6. Number 5 is another Lorac product. So like I said, I like Lorac's cheek products a lot. And this is the Lorac Unzipped Cheek Palette. I don't know if you can still get this, but if you can, it's great. It's extraordinarily pigmented. So you have like a pinky nude, a hot pink, more of like a rusty shade, and then a really warm coral blush. The pigmentation is just stunning. They're really pigmented. There they are. But they're really blendable, so you don't look like a clown. And I like some blush to show up. I don't like it when I put on my blush and I go into my bathroom. I'm like, hey girl, you look a little fair. You need some blush. I like my blush to show up, but I don't want to look like a clown. And this is a good medium for me. I think it gives you enough pigmentation without being overwhelming. And it's, again, one of my favorite things is the variation in colors. These are 4 very distinctive blushes. They don't look alike at all. You're not going to get it and be like, well, it's 4, but these 2 are the same, or these 2 are the same. You know, they all look very different on the cheeks, and they all look great on the cheeks. So this is a great little cheek palette, and I really like it. Coming in at number 4 is from Paula's Choice. To my knowledge, this might be the only makeup product they've ever come out with, but it's got a contour, a highlighter, and 4 blushes. And these are great. I like this highlighter a lot. Sometimes it can be a little glittery, but it's a great highlighter. This contour is cool tone enough that for me, it really shows up as a nice bronzy contour mix without being so much that it looks like, I don't know, I like rolled around in some soot, because that's not the goal either. Obviously, I've used a ton of this blush. It's beautiful. It's definitely pink, but it's a little bit neutral. I have it on today. We've got these 2 are pretty similar, if we're being honest. One's a little more warm. This one's a little more warm and a little more cool. And you can see they swatch kind of different, but on the cheek they look really similar. And then we have a really warm tone. So that's why it is coming in at number 4 as opposed to a little higher. But these all perform really nicely. They show up on the skin. Again, they're blendable, you know, all of that. They don't look patchy. And I think they're really nice, and I like them a lot. And I like the variation of colors that is provided in here, though I wish there weren't those 2 shades that pretty much fill the same gap. Coming in at number 3 is another Lorac product. So this is the Lorac Pirates of the Caribbean. And I really like this. This was a beautiful, weird kind of brownie. I think it was supposed to be a blush, but I used it as a contour, and I loved it and completely used it up. Then it's got these 4 highlighters. This is too shimmery to me to be a blush, but it's got enough white in it that it can show up as a highlighter on my skin tone. Especially what I like to do is a lot of times I'll mix this pink with this white. I like a white highlighter. I know that a lot of people can't really pull it off because of their skin tone, but my skin tone's light enough I can. This is a more neutral. This is a gold, but it's still a very light gold, so I can wear it. Because a lot of golds pull a little too dark on my skin tone. So, not any kind of overlap. They were all very unique, distinctive shades, and I like them all. And I find myself reaching for this a ton. I'm currently panning one. Like I said, I've completely used up that one. It's a great cheek palette. Coming in at number 2 is the MAC Beauty and, not Beauty and the Beast, MAC Nutcracker Sweet Peach Face Compact. The shades are Tutu and At Dusk, and these might be available in other collections, which is really why I wanted to show y'all them, if I can open it. This is like a magnetic palette. It is broken. Mine broke. This highlighter is insane. It's like a true, like, white gold. It's I can't tell if it's cool tone or warm tone or both at the same time. It's really unique. And this blush At Dusk for me is the most natural, beautiful. Just came in. I'm a little bit cold. I might sneeze 3 or 4 times. Blush, and I love it. Absolutely stunning. It is that like baked gelée texture, so you have to kind of dig in, but they work so well, and I love them, and I highly recommend them. I think you'd love them. I can't think of a negative, unless it just doesn't match your skin tone. But they're great. And the number 1 product of all of my cheek products is this little guy from the drugstore. It is the Maybelline Master Contour Face Palette. They had multiple shades. I want to say 3 or 4. I got the shade 10 light to medium. I want to say 3 shades. I can't remember. So we've got a beautiful cool toned highlight, a beautiful neutral, slightly cool toned blush, and contour. And then this highlight is actually pretty similar to that MAC one. So let's swatch them for you. It's a little dustier and not as pigmented. There it is versus the MAC, but on the skin it looks really great. Then we have the blush and the contour, and you can see how pinky that contour is. So for my skin tone, it works really well. So yeah, I can use all 3 of these every single day, and I'm always happy with them. I feel like a lot of times, with cheek palettes, like I've said, there's a couple that don't really work for you, or there's some overlap, but with this, it's a full cheek palette. Blush, bronzer, contour, everything you need. Blush, bronzer, highlight, not bronzer and contour. My bad. And it's just really good, and I really like it, and I don't have anything bad to say about it. So if you're looking for a cheek palette, this is my number 1 recommendation for you today, and it's like $12, so that's pretty good as well. So those are all 12 of my cheek palettes, and ranking them from my number 1 favorite to my number 12 least favorite. But again, I do like them all, and yeah, that's my thoughts on it. If there's a cheek palette I didn't mention, you're like, girl, you need it, let me know. Let me know what your favorites are and what your least favorites are, because it's always good to know things we should avoid. So I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, if you have any questions, requests, suggestions, or comments, go ahead and leave those down below, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.